Assalamu alaikum. I am Talha Al-Ali. Thank you for being here for this first full episode of Decolonised Minds podcast. To understand the colonial mind, we have to accept that colonization is not a metaphor. It is the act of recovering what was buried, restoring what was distorted, and remembering what we were told to forget, or what we have been forced to forget. For many of us, and many of our clients, that exile is not only geographical, it lives internally. It shapes how we see ourselves and what we come to accept as normal. In this episode, we will stay with three main ideas: mental occupation, psychiatry as a mechanism of control, and the rewilding of the psychological landscape. Let's elaborate on mental occupation first. When we speak of colonialism, we usually think of land, borders, extraction. While it's true, one of its most enduring forms is what I call mental occupation. What does that actually mean? It is the implantation of foreign systems of thought that reshape how people understand themselves and their communities and the world. Imagine a software update forced into a system that wasn't built to run it. The original files, ancestral knowledge, communal rituals, ways of relating to the land and each other aren't just ignored. Over time, they are overwritten. You still function, but something fundamental has shifted. This shows up in the foundations of modern psychology and psychiatry. Most global mental health systems are structured through North American and European epistemologies, ways of knowing that can marginalize or pathologize other worldviews. One of the deep wounds of the colonial mind is cultural amnesia. Colonization did not only take the land, it disrupted memory, language, continuity. Languages themselves were criminalized. You'd be punished for using your own language under French colonialism, for example. Histories were erased. Nations were erased. Look at Namibia, for example, the first genocide in the 20th century. Almost 80% of the population was massacred by Germany. Their skulls are still in Germany because their scientists wanted to study evolution on the skulls of the people of Namibia. Now I'll move to what W.E.B. Du Bois described as the double consciousness, the experience of seeing yourself through the lens of a world that devalues you. That split doesn't begin within the individual. It's inherited. It's reinforced. It's lived. And sometimes we see this in what's often called intergenerational trauma. Not as a single event, but as something carried through families, through silence, through what is and isn't spoken, and through rules and regulations, and through laws and segregation. Even biologically, research into epigenetics point to how stress responses can be encoded in our DNA and passed across generations. For some of my clients, the ache they feel doesn't begin with them. It is the generational echo of erasure. To give it a small example to illustrate, think about it as a very big piano. This intergenerational trauma is not the piano, it's the pianist. It decides which keys to be played, which keys to be played loud, which keys to be ignored, which keys, when they are pressed, they will evoke the traumatic response, will trigger people, and so on.